welcome back. This is episode 232 of NooBTooB, a sporadically, unpredictably released podcast of indeterminate duration. Where we talk about whatever games we've played since we last talked to you. I am Tobin and Yuzo.
And I'm Yuzo Watanabe. This week, we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff. Like Tobin said, we're going to talk about the games that we've been playing, as well as a couple of other things.
Like we are here in Seattle at Penny Arcade Expo. We have been hanging out, checking out the games on the floor, and we're going to be telling you guys what we thought about the ones that we saw.
Yes. And and also thank you very much to the Bugaba for giving us a little use of his awesome penthouse suite.
Yeah.
As you can kind of see somewhere out there, there's an amazing view.
Yeah, no, this is like the baller room. Yeah, this is nice. My room is not as nice.
No. It's first floor.
Yeah, I'm in the dungeon.
Behind the kitchen.
So let's get started with the games that we've been playing since we last talked in June-ish of last year.
We're mostly covering games this year, right? Because there's a bunch of stuff, and I don't think you guys are interested in hearing about, like...
Yeah, we don't want to dig all the way back. It's like, obviously I played Uncharted 3, obviously I loved it.
Really?
I may have played it on the day it came out until I beat it.
That's right. And there's a bunch of games, but we're kind of concentrating on January through today, for the most part. First game up is...
Legend of Grimlock.
Legend of Grimlock. So this is a game that I don't know if you guys...
I didn't play this.
No, so I was really stoked, because I saw the trailer on Steam, and Legend of Grimlock, I don't know if you remember, do you remember Dungeon Master? Not Dungeon Keeper. Yeah. Dungeon Master or Eye of the Beholder.
Eye of the Beholder I played.
Okay. Dungeon Master I think was on Amiga.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
Yeah.
The whole idea was you're like going dungeon crawling, kind of like in the Wizardry old days where it's like one step. Remember the Gold Box series?
Yeah.
It's like the one step.
Yeah, like where you're going through the like almost Doom-like Doom-like dungeon. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that except now it's more modern. So you actually have awesome character animations like full 3D, but it really brings that back to you. Now you have your four characters of like magic users in the back, and arrow guys in the back, and then all your melee guys in front. And just
is the combat like turn-based, or is it kind of clicky like?
It's kind of like like the real-time action, and then that's where you're clicking, and then it takes a little while to come back up, right? And you're just button mashing the entire time, like sword, spell, heal.
And was this an indie game, or was this like a?
I don't know exactly. I don't remember who made it, but I'm pretty sure it's more indie than not. You know what I mean?
It wasn't like $60.
No, it was 15 or 20.
Okay.
It was pretty cheap. So
it was fun.
It was awesome. Yeah, I love it. It's actually hard because some of those games were amazingly difficult for our time. And they kept all of that stuff.
Was it the one called Space Hulk?
There was another one called Space Hulk.
Yes, I remember playing the shit out of that one. That's that style.
Yeah, and it's awesome because you also have the puzzles too, where you have to take rocks, put them on levers, and do various things. Or there's clues because when you do it, you have a map. And I remember if you played the old games, we actually wanted to draw the map out on scrap paper because then you say, oh, there's probably a secret room somewhere here, and you do that. But then they have that same sort of thing where you kind of have to look at each wall and you see this little tiny button, and you can click it, and then it opens a new thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. So I'm actually a huge fan of that game. I really hope it sells more than it does because again, it's indie. It's only on Steam, I think. Yeah. All mouse click. So
I like what they're doing now. Where we're getting all these throwback games where it's like people are kind of going back and discovering the stuff we loved as a kid, and then they're taking out all the bullshit. Yeah. And then making it awesome. Like I saw a couple of games today on the floor that were like kind of like the top-down Zelda dungeon style, and like people are going back to a lot of the older things that we enjoyed. Yeah,
and they're actually adding extra elements too, like all the 2D stuff with platformers. Now it's all of a sudden like platformers, but it's got 3D elements and just adding enough stuff to make it cool. So I love it, and the fact that they can do it with very small teams. Like I want to support these guys, and these guys did a great job. So that's one of my favorite games.
I mean, that kind of reminds me of the 10 million game I told you about too, where it's just like
we
didn't say the iPhone game.
No,
it's just like real quick, we'll just say there's this 10 million game. If you search for it, it's the only game
0 with 6 more zeros.
Yeah, 7 zeros total.
7. Yes. Well, 10.
No, you said 1 0 and 6 more zeros.
Wait.
Well, you have 1 0 and then 3 more zeros and then 3 more zeros.
So minus 2 zeros plus 3. Yeah, then you're done.
So it's called 10 million, and it's just like this. It's like someone took Dungeon or Dragon Quest and then made a match 3 out of it. It's just this totally silly, perfect little shitter game, but it's just super retro.
Oh, I know. The graphics are like pretty bad.
Just super ghetto.
They're like really terrible, but you're playing match 3, and of course match 3 is pretty awesome, but then like you have to use swords to attack, do keys to this wood, and it's just like it's so addictive.
It's
and,
super addictive.
I seriously I'm getting ring around my ass. Right? You know what's in your game. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, when your wife's just like You've been in there for 25 minutes. You're like, I'm pooping.
Yeah. Give me some time. I need some more time.
Just gotta kill one more dungeon.
I know. So it's that, and it's like $2. It's super cheap. So.
Yeah, so get that. Definitely get that. So the next game I want to talk about was Journey.
Oh yeah,
which this is on my like favorite games of the year. The whole thing with this was there's the guy that did Flower.
Yeah, that game company, I think.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
And it's a game with there's no dialogue, there's no fighting, there's no combat, there's no whatever. There's just you.
What story is there?
The story, all the story is that you wake up and you see a mountain in the distance, and you just figure you're probably going to the one thing. The really interesting part about this is that it's got this kind of co-op with strangers that you can't communicate with. So you're playing, and it's just like somebody shows up in your world. Yeah. You can't talk to them. They can't talk to you. All you can do is push a button, and it goes boom.
Yeah, boom, and make little sounds, and you kind of like hover near it, and it's like, hey, come this way, and like you can't tell them to come this way. You just have to assume it.
Right, and the cool thing about that is like you'll be going around, you can't figure out what to do, and then like the guy over somewhere else, you hear him go ba-dum 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 ba-dum. You look over, and he's just like, oh, he's figured out that you can run up this ramp and go do these other things. But the thing that really, really got me was that with these strangers, I started to get this feeling of like this bond with them.
I know, it's weird, right?
Where there's this one guy that wasn't very good. Like, so I played with, like, because I think that I played with 3 or 4 people. Like, I think that they were kind of dropping in and out. This one guy wasn't very good, and I was just blasting through, and there's this part where you're being chased by these dragons, and they're eating you, and I was about to leave, and I hear him, he's like, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
He's like, help me.
And I look back, and he's like running from place to place, and he's hiding, and the dragon's coming in, like killing him, and whatever. And like I actually went back, and I was like giving him like little encouraging. I was like,
did you make a little code? Like, good job.
It just became such a human moment where it's just like you're getting this. You realize that somewhere in the country, somebody's just kind of sitting alone in a dark room, like, like. I don't know. There was something about it that made it made it very, very personal and intimate. More so somehow than even me being able to just talk over a headset.
I think that's the main reason, right? So for some reason, the moment you can actually speak to someone or even see somebody, it changes things. But the moment you limit the communication to right, all of a sudden it's just like you can't be mean, you can't be a dick.
Yeah.
All you can do is help. And I think were there limits in terms of like being able to progress? Do you actually have to?
You can bail.
You can just bail. Totally
you can bail, and like one of the guys that I was with, like I saw him for a little bit, and he just bailed. Yeah. Like, but then this guy that I ended up bonding with, he and I like after that kind of like stuck together like glue. Yeah. And I don't want to give away any spoilers, but like the end of the game starts to get very emotional. Like it's kind of like this existential, like it becomes very poetic, and the two of you going through it together, like like these kindred spirits, like racing towards whatever the end is, and it's just like I actually kind of got goosebumps.
That's what these guys do really well, right? I mean, Flower was just like it's weird, like 5-hour, even if that, right? Like emotional journey, which you never see in video games, right? No. And like that, I really like that fact. Maybe I got stuck with shitty people.
Didn't grab you as much?
Well, no. I mean, I saw it's like, oh, it's a stranger. Oh, he's gone.
And he just vanished.
I'm like, so my journey was filled with dicks, right? So like, it didn't give me that emotional journey that I was really looking for. I'm
putting that on your tombstone, by the way. My journey was filled with dicks. Unhappy dicks.
Well, yours will have the same thing, but it'll have a happy face. Could go either way.
Yeah. Thumbs up.
But yeah, but like that's the thing. Like, so I was getting into it. Like, there was like, I mean, the thing is, it's not a hard game.
No.
The platforming is very basic.
Right.
So there's not like the puzzly element to me was just like you just have to kind of wander around until you find it. And one of the things I liked about it, having this extra person, was almost always somebody I think I met 2 people. So the other person actually did lead me through it, and he did kind of like lead me. Then he left like every 2 minutes. I'm like, okay, but it was really nice because I was just like, oh, and he was like, follow me, I'm like, oh, that's great. I have a little hint guide following me around. But it wasn't that, like we didn't play
all the way through.
Yeah,
there's something about like getting through death with somebody that suddenly you guys are like, all right, I'm with you. Like, we're gonna beat
you're mine.
this.
Come on, let's go. Right. And this hilarious thing is like you're starting to see this more and more with this weird asynchronous non-match multiplayer, right? Because Dark Souls does it, but it's the total opposite version of what you see in the Journey, right? Where if somebody comes in, they're out to kill you.
Yeah. or like DayZ.
Oh yeah.
DayZ, where it's just like people are just trolling.
Yeah.
Like there's this,
right?
I mean, people at this point have just become, like, they're going in and playing zombies, they're going in and just, like, fucking with each other, trying to get people killed.
Right, yeah. It's like they're hacking it to make people's experience worse.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just like, holy shit. Like,
yeah.
What?
I've seen these videos where someone will be playing DayZ and someone else is just following them around trying to get the zombies to kill them, and they're like, hey dude, what are you doing? The guy's like, no. Like, he wouldn't even talk like a human, and the guy's like, you are flipping me the fuck out right now. Like, this guy is just like chasing him around, like making his experience uncomfortable. But I mean, there's something about
that's the point of the game, right?
Yeah,
actually,
it's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it all works in different reasons. I like that, right? I mean, that's what I think. Right? It's hard to get people together all the time.
Right.
So if you can somehow get people to match up, without that sort of lobby, bullshit and all this other stuff, and all of a sudden you have a better experience.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
It's just drop in, drop out. Like, it's just seamless. You can't control it.
Exactly, yeah. But then they kind of do all these limitations on top of it to either make you so you can't communicate so you're friendlier, or add shit where you can really make people's lives really miserable, and that just makes you happy. Like, whatever, right? It's just like, it's gameplay and, like, experiment away. Like, that's what I want to say.
We're playing around a lot with what it means to interact with other people. And within the confines of not just having a headset and being like, shut up, homo, like, I like it.
It's a little more, and I hope that game company does more stuff like that, because there really is, I mean, most of that stuff ends up being like, how do you antagonize the other player? How do you beat the other player down? Right. Not like, how do you have this emotional journey with a complete stranger, which I think we just need more variety, right? I want to see, like, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I just want to, like, hug the dude when I beat the game. I was like, whoa! So,
Pull the dicks.
So I mean, so that's a big thumbs up. I was just trying to remember. I think Journey actually sold pretty well. I think it did okay. Yeah. Which is, thank God. Like, normally these games, I'm just like, like I'll try and tell people about a game, and it's like, it's really good. They're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, like, what was it? Singularity was one.
Singularity, Binary Domain, Vanquish,
Shadows of the Damned.
Shadows of the Damned.
Copies. That's like my favorite game in the last
I know, we should have like a buying list for, like, you guys, please just go buy. And now they're probably like bargain $5 games.
Much, yeah.
There's good games out there that people are missing.
Yeah. Speaking of good games, this one is not.
Ah, yes. So I did not play Diablo 3. Like, I actually was in the beta.
Yeah.
And I played through, and I'm like, I was just like, I think that I'm kind of over the click. Like, it didn't draw me in. But you went into it, and apparently you did not enjoy yourself.
Oh no, I liked it. I liked the beta. I'm just like, this clickety-click is better than the last time's clickety-click, right? They added more monsters, and the effects were cool. I was like really into it. And then I got the game, and we've been talking about this game for
a decade.
A decade at least, right? Talking about, I can't wait till Diablo 3 comes out. It's gonna be awesome. So this pent-up demand. Played the beta. I liked it.
Yeah.
It didn't, like, sell me, but I liked it. I'm like, I want to see where they're going with this. Then the game came out, and I started playing, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of fun, right? This is, I'm clicking.
You were able to get in?
No. No, I was not. Not initially. But
I heard there were some problems with that.
I persevered, and eventually, I think it was like after like 4 hours of clicking the login screen, I was able to click on monsters finally. But it wasn't about that. Like, I was playing, I was enjoying myself first day, and then I went to the auction house.
Okay.
So I don't know if you know much about the auction house.
Just in general, that you can buy and sell items from other people.
Yeah, it's that. So that's kind of the main thing, right? And Diablo 2, you had to, like, meet up on the same east or west, and then go to the same map, and then drop it on the ground. You had to do all these trades to make this thing. So people don't do it that often.
No.
They did it. This absolutely makes everything much easier. So what I would end up doing after a while, I'd be playing, and I'm like, let me sell some shit on the thing. I went there, I'm like, let me find some stuff. I basically equipped my entire character in rares. Because there were basically everybody picked up. If you didn't need it, you put it in the auction house.
Oh.
So then
it's just a flood.
Like, it's a flood.
Yeah.
So it got more efficient to play the game and get gold, and then buy the item.
Then actually get them.
Than playing the game. So it's weird because it turned into this weird metagame where I would spend an hour. Well, no, I would play the game gold farming. Yeah. I play the game, and you get a lot of gold out of it, right? But I would spend a ton of time in the auction house thinking, okay, how do I do my searches to filter things down and to become more efficient at killing things, right? And all of a sudden, this weird, like, negative feedback loop came where I was spending more time in the auction house than
playing the game.
And, like, just to get, because, like, there was no point in playing the game to get better loot, because you would never, in any chance, be able to compete with a million other people doing it, and then picking the best absolute best item and putting it on there for 100 gold.
So why is that different than the way they do it in like World of Warcraft? Is it just that it's too cheap in Diablo? It's just too easy?
Well, World of Warcraft have other things to do.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of Diablo 3 is to get loot. Think about it, right? That's the game loop, is play the game, get better loot, and keep on playing and do that. Right. Now you put this little weird auction house thing on the side, all of a sudden it's like, whoop, and now I'm doing this little spinning thing, and I'm like, wow. And then they added the real money auction house.
Yeah.
That fucked everything up, right? And I'm just like, I just gave up. It was just like, because it was like 5 acts. I finished the 5 acts in about a week. And then you play the acts at a harder level.
Right.
And then the acts at a harder level.
And you're supposed to be getting better loot, but it took all the fun out of it.
Yeah, there's no point. Like, why would I do that when I can do that? So that killed it for me. And like a lot of people have very similar complaints, and they probably know about it. But that was like, I guess, the biggest disappointment I had.
That sucks. That
sucks. Considering how much we spent, talking.
How long we waited.
Yeah. So boo. Boo NooBTooB.
Boo.
YouTube, 2 thumbs down that fucking
But on a cheerier note,
so
Quantum Conundrum came out.
I wanted to play this
game.
Now,
Quantum Conundrum, I don't know if you guys know this, the woman that invented Portal
Kim something, right?
Quit Valve, started her own company, and then made a new game called Quantum Conundrum, where you're going around, and it honestly, it has the same... For me, it had the same just kind of joyous feel where you're in there, the voice that's talking to you through the whole game is Q from Star Trek The Next Generation. I forget his name.
Whoa.
But he's got this great smarmy voice. And he's like the head inventor guy. And you're running around and you start to find these weapons. And it's just like in Portal where you would get a portal and then you get 2 portals and you start to realize that you can use momentum in this. It's just like, hey, you can make stuff light. So suddenly, like a safe would be as light as a feather, and you can move it around, you can put it down, make it heavy again, you can jump on it to get to the next level, and they're like, all right, now instead of making it just light, now you can slow down time. So then you can pick up a box, throw it, slow down time, hop on it, and ride it across the chasm. So like there's this pit you need to get across, you can throw stuff and then ride it across, and then there's things where it's like you can turn off gravity, you can make stuff heavier, you can do...
So it's a lot more than what Portal... Because Portal had a few things, right?
So this was just ended up being 4. So this is just four major mechanics, but part of the puzzles in the level would be turning on these effects. Like you'd have to use one of these to get to an orb that turns on the ability to turn off gravity. So it's just like
is it per level you can only...
So it's just like Portal.
Oh, yeah,
And at each level, they're like, okay, here's a new challenge.
Wow.
Here's a new challenge. Here's a new challenge. And every time you master it, they're like, but have you thought about this? And you're like, so it's one of those games where it's like you just play with this huge grin on your face, and every level is magical and different and just amazing.
How long ago were they able to sustain it? Because I know with Portal 2, it was a lot longer than Portal 1, but didn't have that magical, like, 4 or 5 hour, like, amazing all the way through for me, right? Like
this did. I mean, it was just like, I don't remember how long I played. It was probably 4 or 5 hours. It wasn't,
but a mini
long.
game, not like an epic, right?
Right, and they've got DLC coming. They're gonna toss in new levels for a couple bucks. What is on the downloadable networks?
Yeah. XBLA?
Yeah, okay. I got it. I believe I got it on Steam. Don't quote me on that. But I got it somewhere online. But it's just this was probably one of my most pure, joyful gaming experiences of the year. I was just giggling, and like there's lots of jokes in it, and there's these things where it's like your brain just clicks. Where it's just like you realize that you can. They'll have these tricks where there'll be these things just falling out of the sky, and then you realize that you have to turn time into slow motion and jump across them as if they're platforms, and like you're flipping back and forth between like turning on gravity to lift stuff up and then slowing it down to jump on it, and doing like sine waves where you're turning gravity on and off as you're trying to dodge like laser beams.
Okay, you just blew my mind.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's because you throw it. On gravity, slow mo.
Enough on it.
So
was each button like a power? Like,
I'm trying to remember. They made it very easy. It was like it was.
Oh, you're playing.
There was some way to very quickly swap between the controls, so it wasn't a pain in the ass.
Wow, that's great though. I mean, I'd love to have that experience because the thing is, like that experience of Portal, I have yet to recreate it. You know what I mean? Where it's like just the perfect link, the perfect everything, and it just takes you through this, this amazing journey. Right?
Yeah, it's just like a bite-sized morsel of gaming where, like, by the end, they don't overstay their welcome. They just go through and you finish it and you're like I feel better.
Like seeing a really awesome movie, like you want to kind of want that feeling again. Cool. So play that.
Awesome.
Now,
definitely get Quantum Conundrum. So next up,
is it cheaper too? Right? It's like
it wasn't not expensive, and I'm sure it's even cheaper now.
Next up, another cheap game.
Yeah,
it's hilarious because I feel like besides like Diablo 3, it's like all most like a lot of indie games.
Well, you notice the direction that you and I are going, which is, you know, like there are these AAA games that are fine. You know, there's a lot of really good looking games out there, but it's just if you want the idea, if you want like the equivalent of like a science fiction short story where you like read it and you're like, okay, this is where it is. It's like the indie games, the smaller games, they can just throw this one idea at you and you just go to town with it.
Yeah, and like I love the fact that like you can only spend like, you know, $2 or $5 or $10, and I can just like whatever, here you go. But like with $60, like you want to, you're gonna make an investment.
Right.
You got to say I have to spend $20 to make this worth it. You don't have to do that with any of these games. And honestly, now that I have 2 kids, like I have no time for these huge long experiences. But
there are still, if you look at our list, there's still big games coming up that we've played and that we're looking forward to that are still full $60 experiences.
But you're gonna see a theme, definitely emerging from a lot of this stuff, which is probably what the show would end up turning into. Right?
I know, seriously. Like NooBTooB would have just become like the indie game show, I think.
Yeah, hilarious. But the next one, so this is actually an older game, but the expansion pack did just recently come out. It's called The Binding of Isaac. So this is the one that I picked up late.
People have been telling me about this. Everyone's like, you play Binding of Isaac? It's like on my to-do list. I was like, no, I gotta do it, because people say it's just dark as shit.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it is one of the darker games, but it's like all kind of like 8-bit art. Like so, it's weird because you have this, you know, corpse or this dead baby or something else, right? That's it, but it's pixelated.
So it's like your mom has thrown you in a dungeon, right?
Yes, along with all the other siblings, into the basement.
Okay.
And then that goes down into the dungeon, and then it turns into a roguelike, randomly generated, top-down twin-stick shooter.
What?
Okay.
Okay. Like Smash TV?
Yeah, like that. And each room is like one of the Zelda rooms or Smash TV rooms. You just keep going room to room to room.
Yeah.
And the whole point is like when you die, you die. So the whole point is just restarting it, and then you get all these random drops occasionally from these monsters, and they give you like great powers. They do.
Do you get to keep those?
No.
Oh wow!
So a lot of
just single death.
Yeah, single death. It's and then so that the whole point is to kill your mother. Don't think that's a giveaway. Is kill mom, because there's like achievements for all that. But you got to kill mother, but you got to kill like your siblings and all these boss monsters and all that on the way.
Yeah.
But you're like collecting all these really like creepy items like mom's underwear or bra, and like gives you this various power, like all this stuff, and it's just like super dark but fun. So like I think I was going to Vegas like last year, like sometime, and I'm like, oh, there's so much music, I'm gonna get this. I put it on my MacBook, and I just played that at night after everyone gone to sleep, and I'm just like, man, this is fucked up shit. Like it was just awesome. So again, it's an older game, but the Wrath of the Lamb just came out. I paid $1, I think, for it on the Steam sale.
Yeah.
I still haven't had a chance to try it yet, but they added a bunch more levels and a bunch of.
So you play for like several hours to build up all your powers and get your items.
Well, not hours, like 10, 20 minutes.
Right?
Okay. Like you're going through each level, and it's hard because you get health, and then if you lose health, you have to find hearts. And there's these machines, right, where you can go and you can give up hearts to get drops. Right? Like I think it was blood bank or blood machine or something like that. You would give up your blood and all of a sudden start drops, and
nice.
And they're stingy too. It's like so the most important thing to do is get the random drops, because certain random drops, especially in combination, make the game a lot easier.
Okay.
So once you get like a couple of the key ones, which you can't really control, you can probably beat the game. But if you don't, you're probably not going to beat the game. So it's kind of depressing.
It's cool that it's roguelike too. Like I haven't played like NetHack or Rogue for a long time, but I've always kind of wanted to go back to them, and I love that feeling of it.
And it's the same guy that did the art for Super Meat Boy.
Oh,
so it's that kind of like it's kind of like that good, awesome pixel art. So definitely give that a try if you haven't yet. It's an awesome indie.
That's on my list. You guys don't understand. Like when I get home from PAX, I've got all these passes. I've bought games on the show floor. I've been writing down these like there's some games that are coming out like next week on XBLA.
Yeah, we'll be talking about one of them.
Yeah, there's some games that I've actually purchased the game. There's some games like this that are already out that I'm just like, okay, when I get home, I got my dozen games. Like I've got all these things that I'm really excited to look into.
Yeah, and a lot of them, it's one of those things where they're going to be these morsels, right? Like you're going to be played for like a weekend or just a night.
Yeah.
Get through it, and it's like I'm happy. I can play these sorts of things. So.
And I've got a lot of time on my hands now.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if you guys watch the news. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. It's okay.
But I got some time on my hands.
For all these games.
So I'm pretty excited.
Yes, including I guess like this is the one. Yeah.
This is the newer. So Sleeping Dogs came out. God, 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. Is pretty recent.
It's on my list.
So Sleeping Dogs. The best way I can explain it is somebody combined Yakuza and Grand Theft Auto. Like it is it's this phenomenal, like hyper detailed, like it's like you're in a Hong Kong action movie, for real. Like you're in there and you're wandering around and you have like these great conversations with people. Everything is massively detailed. It's that same Yakuza feeling where you walk through and like you'd be walking through the street and some guy's carrying a bowl of noodles and you accidentally bump into him and he like throws them on himself and yells at you, and this is just everyone's that detailed.
Wow.
Every single person has that kind of thing going on.
Does it have is it like one city, like kind of like, you know, Kabuki show?
Yeah.
Or is it like widespread?
It's widespread like GTA. So it's like they got the big map and there's like all the different regions controlled by different crime groups. Mm-hmm. But then what's really impressive is the combat is massively detailed. Like you can, during combat you can counter, like people come at you and you got the counters and you got good fist fights, but then there's also things where it's like you start to learn new moves by leveling up. But then
that sounds familiar.
It's very Yakuza-like, but all the environment is really interactive. So you can grab somebody by the head and run them across the screen, and then like an air conditioner will be flashing red, and if you run them into it, he slams their fucking head into the air conditioner and it explodes, and you can like put people in a dumpster, like smash their face into a phone booth.
Yeah, that's
like,
actually, I mean, it's like Yakuza, but even more. Because there was some things, but it's really limited in terms of interactivity you can do for that.
The combat's way better than Yakuza's combat. Wow. So then the whole thing is, like you're kind of becoming this crime lord in the Hong Kong underground, and there's all the missions on the map, just like GTA, and you're going around like you have to go, collect. You're a cop, and you're an undercover cop trying to weasel your way into the Hong Kong underground.
Is this like true crime? Because I thought it was a true crime game.
Yeah, I think this is a sequel to the
sequel to the True Crime. Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
and I'm obsessed with it. I've been playing the crap out of it lately. It's one of the best games I've played this year.
Is there driving in
yes.
it as well? Is it good?
Yeah. It's fine. Okay. I mean, it's GTA driving. Like I haven't seen any
like vehicles or planes or
you just get from A to B. It's not. It's just
because GTA was it like 3, which like was it San Andreas got ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the things that you can do. But
they might, like as of right now, all it is that I can grab people out of cars and motorcycles, and you pretty much just use them to get to A to B, and it plays music while you're driving.
Okay. Well, so here's my question, because the thing I hate most about the GTA series is the idea that they don't ever put checkpoints. They put rare checkpoints in the missions, so you have to restart all the time.
Yeah.
How do they handle?
So far, that hasn't been a problem. The missions are of not long duration. So what'll happen is, you'll die, and then you'll wake up again at the hospital, and the mission will have not been completed.
Sure.
But I've never felt so far that, like, I mean, it's one of those missions where you go in and it's not like 12 steps to complete.
Okay, good. You have to like drive there, go through this, like over and like that killed me, right?
No. So far it's been totally satisfactory, and then there's a lot of little clever things too, where it's like you can follow the main storyline, or you can go around and do all these little side things where it's like you beat up guys and hack a security camera, and then you use the security camera to do a drug bust against the guys. So it's just a very satisfying experience.
Wow, no, I'm sold, because I mean I do like open world games, like I like Saints Row 3.
Yeah,
enjoyed that one, and I kind of need one that is a little more serious, I think, than Saints Row 3.
This is totally.
So yeah, it's definitely on my list.
And it's got great voice acting, great character animation.
Wow. Okay.
It's probably one of the best looking games on the market.
Damn.
Damn. The one thing I would say, I would actually recommend getting this on PC if you can. They've been doing a bunch of comparisons. Well, I've been playing with the Xbox controller, but they've been doing a lot of comparisons, and they're showing that the PC version they did way better, like depth of field, way better shadows, way better texture detail. You can actually go. On day one, there was a high-resolution texture pack for free on Steam, and you can go make the game look even better. All this shit is not available on consoles. So they really aimed this game at a PC experience.
That's great, because I think we're at the time, like right now, with Xbox is what, 7 years or 6 years, something like that?
Yeah.
So we're at the point now where the PCs are so far beyond the capabilities that the pendulum has swung over to PC at this point, where if you're going to play any of these games, you care about quality, you care about all that stuff, like that's what you got to do.
And the PC SKU was cheaper. It was like $10 cheaper. It was like $50 instead of $60.
I wonder if that's like the VIG that Sony and Microsoft charge.
I don't know. So for some reason they really aimed this at PC. So do that if you can.
I think I'm gonna do that. So you're
and I was playing it like 1920. Like I'm, like it's.
Wait, so you played it with the Xbox controller?
Xbox controller.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
All right. So
because that's the combat. You want the controller. Combat.
Is it on Steam?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I will grab that, absolutely.
Yep.
I'm very excited.
So that is the games we've been playing. I think we should move on to the PAX games. So
yes.
We spent yesterday and today wandering the PAX floor, really just kind of getting the feel. I mean, like, we could talk for 6 hours. Like,
yes. And I'm sure some of you guys would want us to, but we're not going to because we actually have to go to dinner.
We have to go to dinner later.
Yeah, but
I mean, every major game that you guys could imagine that's coming out is on the floor. I mean, like
Assassin's Creed 3 was there. Like basically every game that you possibly had. But every game had lines, lots of lines. So,
and that's the thing is, a lot of these games is like, clearly I'm going to play Assassin's Creed 3. Clearly, like, a lot of these games.
I heard Borderlands 2 is coming out next week.
Yeah, and we're both going to buy Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
So we didn't really spend all that much time on the games that everybody knows we're going to buy. It's either the ones that we've never heard of, or the ones that we're super excited for that might not come out for a while.
Exactly. Yeah.
Those are the ones that we focused on here.
Yeah. So we're gonna it's kind of split into two sections, but like kind of the bigger games. It kind of starts out with Hawken. Oh, shit. I did not expect this, right? Like, I heard that, Mech Warrior Online was coming, and then Mech Assault Tactics or something like that. So there's a bunch of these FASA-based mech games I'm super pumped about.
Yeah.
And then I saw this game.
Dude, I forget the name of the game I was playing when I was in Japan, but there's this one game that...
I know what it is. Hold on, fuck. Something Assault, right?
Something like that.
Recon Assault. Go keep going.
It'll come to you.
Just look online.
But there's this game that's very popular in Japan right now where everybody's running around in mechs, and it's similar to this, but Hawken just blows it out of the water in terms of how it looks. I mean, it's just... I cannot believe how good this game looks and how good it feels. Like, I got to sit down and play, and there's like 8 different kinds of mechs. And then you're running around, and it's a
first-person mech game.
First-person mech game, and it's team deathmatch. And the mechs just feel so solid. And you've got all these different secondary attacks. You can do holograms. You can do missile launchers. And
you can heal. Like they added so much, and like I think the best thing about it is like what you were saying is the feel.
Yeah.
When I was in it, you have the headphones on. You just these
Border Break.
Good. Border Break. Border Break. It's a game in Japan you'll never play.
You'll never play it, but we had to say it. We had to say it. Okay.
But yeah, but I was saying like the sound of it and everything just like crunch. The viewports where like like the screen kind of gets all crazy and cracked. Like everything about the style of this game is perfect. Yeah. And then when you start playing, like I was kicking people's ass in this game.
Yeah.
Like because there's this thing where and the thing is like the only way I can relate to it is like it's Robotech.
Yeah.
It's like what I imagine being a Veritech fighter would be when you do the slide.
Yeah.
Basically, right? Because you can do slides and hover, just like shoot. So it's not like what you expect from a mech
where they feel slow and shitty. And those games have come out before where you're just you're just kind of like stomping through the city. And they try to do that to make you feel powerful. They want it to be like this epic experience. But the Hawken guys realize if you're facing other mechs, you're powerful because you're releasing barrages of missiles that are exploding everything, but you can also, I mean, you're in a fucking flying robot. Of course it's going to be quick.
Yeah, and you can hover and you can jump. Like, I didn't realize it, but I actually really prefer agility in my mech games.
Yeah.
Which you don't see with, like, Steel Battalion or any of those other games. And, like, I don't know if I want to play Mech Online or any of the other ones, because I think that's the style they're going to go for.
But here's the thing that blew my mind.
Yeah, I know.
Did not realize this is going to be a free-to-play game.
It was so high quality. Like, what the... Right?
Free to play.
Yeah.
So this is a new model that I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around. Like, there's these games like League of Legends has now surpassed World of Warcraft in terms of number of players. Like, it's like the biggest online game in the world right now. It's free to play. They've got this company with hundreds of employees that's all across the world, and it's like, micropayments used to be kind of a running joke in the industry. It was just like, when your MMO fucking fails, then you go free to play, and then you go out of business. Yeah,
because it was all like, Farmville and all that. That's where the micropayments were all at. But then all of a sudden, this hardcore Dota, Dota type game comes in, and all they're selling is like, summoners, new things, and like just random weapons and all this other stuff. And like, holy shit, they're making gobs of money.
Yeah.
At it.
And so they've proven that this model can be wildly successful. And I think everybody else is kind of jumping on the bandwagon. And they realize that what they can do is like, hey, this week we're going to give you this free mech in Tekken, in Hawken, and next week it's not free. And you're like, but I loved that mech.
It was a really cool mech.
I was so good at that mech. It's like, of course I'll give you $3.
Here's $1? Sure, that's all it was, know. And like, and what's awesome is like, if you would have bought the game, you probably would have paid 15, 20, 30, something like that.
Yeah.
And like, you just pay $1 here or there. You don't notice it. And that could turn to 45, and that's how they bank on. They basically have the idea of free-to-play whales. These are the guys who spend hundreds of dollars on games, and those guys are subsidizing other people's, which is awesome.
And the thing is if you had paid $60 for the game, you'd be like, well, no, fucking nickel and diming me every week for a new Mac, and then now you're just like, but it was free.
But it was free.
It was free.
And I liked it. Yeah. I see value in this virtual good, where before we would have said, fuck you.
Yeah.
But now it's like, wow, that was an awesome weapon. I'm actually going to pay $1 for that.
And if you love a game and you play it 30 hours a week and you drop $3 or $4 a week for the privilege.
It's a lot less than $60.
Yeah.
Right? It takes a long time.
That's a deal, I think. Yeah. So, I mean, we both played Hawken.
Oh, God, it's just, I loved it.
I can't say enough good things about it. Like, it just feels so good, and I'm going to be playing it right when it comes out. I don't know when it's coming out.
I don't know. I think it's going to be this year, but because it looks pretty close to done, but I could be wrong on this. I believe they got bought by a Chinese MMO company or something like that.
Yeah, and then there's like some big investment from NVIDIA. Like, there's all these weird, like, there's a lot of interest in Hawken.
I know,
a lot of things are coming together.
Well deserved. And what's boggled my mind is like there was like these 2 or 3 hour long waits for like all these huge games. Hawken, I just went and I looked around, I saw an empty one, and I started playing.
Huh.
So like the line was not long at all. And, like, I don't get it. Like,
I don't know if that bodes good or bad for the game.
Well, no, I think it's just like it's one of those things that just doesn't have a lot of marketing and a lot of that. But you know what? If it's free to play, people will just try it and then they get hooked instantly.
It's true.
Right. So I'm super excited. And the other thing that I want to mention about Hawken, they're supporting the Oculus Rift.
Yes. Yeah. So the party that I went to, they had the Oculus Rift
did you
there.
Try it?
No. So there's a line. Of course, it's PAX. There was a line.
Oh, so what's Oculus Rift? I mean,
so it's the most ridiculous looking. Like, you look like a cyborg. You know, you've got this thing. It's a huge thing on your head, but it's a virtual reality headset.
Finally done right.
And people are saying it's unbelievable. Like, I was watching these people playing it, and you know, they're still trying to steer with the right stick, and then the people were like, "Hey, dude, put your hand off the right stick and just look around." And people were like, oh my god!
What the
oh
fuck?
my god!
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you know, it changes everything. And they said that it's lightning quick. It's just, you know, the second you move, it feels like you are right there.
It's like 1-to-1, right? Yep. Like 1-to-1 latency. Like, it's just gone. And everyone has been playing it. Like, basically, John Carmack said, "Holy fucking shit! I'm gonna put Port Doom to this." All the people who are looking at it have been porting it. I think it's like $200 or $300 to sign up for it on Kickstarter. But I think the Kickstarter's done. Yeah. But the fact that like Hawken's supporting it, like, just imagine, like, you're now in a mech, fully immersive. You're looking behind you and shit, and doing your slides.
It's going to be out of control.
Yeah, I know. So I'm.
I can't wait for that. The only thing that worries me is I did hear a couple people say that the Oculus Rift felt a little bit low res. Like,
yes, and actually that's a known thing. Basically, the panels that they got are like 640 by 480 or 720, like some lower resolutions. And the consumer ones, they're trying as hard as possible to get higher resolutions.
Good.
And honestly, I'd rather have latency over resolution.
Yeah,
generally, like don't ever give that up, right?
Yeah,
like,
because I mean, if that felt like if there's any delay when you turn your head, you would put it down immediately. You're like, whoop, nope.
Yep.
I'm not letting my viewpoint catch up to my head like that.
Yeah, that makes you sick, right? Yeah. But if it's 1-to-1, all of a sudden, like,
you're
the possibilities, right?
You're there in that world.
Yeah, so. And then some, nice 5.1s here.
And you look like an asshole.
Who cares? You're in your basement.
I'm just imagining this, like, these LAN parties with all these, like, cyborg-looking humans with their big headsets on. Like, everyone's like,
It's pretty close already, man. You look at some of these crazy robotic mice and the huge ass fucking headsets. It's close.
People definitely disappear into their gaming rigs, but I'm alright with that.
Yeah, I'm okay. Because I'm going to have my gaming lounge chair.
Yeah.
Right? And just going to be sitting back.
Your catheter. The little hole in the bottom for taking the poop.
Holy shit, Kickstarter. Gaming catheters.
I think we should do it. We should go start a Kickstarter for that.
Yes. And then recliners with poop receptacles at the bottom. I think it's
a little hose for the butt.
Bidet.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, the next... Next segue.
So speaking of pooping into your chair,
Little King Story. Yeah, so this is a game I was really excited about. I think you played it too, right? On the Wii. It's this weird kind of combination, like RTS / Pikmin / whatever. It's really cutesy, but the gameplay behind it's super deep. Super deep.
Yeah.
And now it's for the Vita, so I finally get to have a game I can play on the Vita.
I was gonna say,
really
like,
excited.
the problem is I'll see these games come out and you're like, it's all right. I was like, yeah, but I'm not gonna buy a Vita for that.
Like, no, like there's no game that would actually make you buy like a 3DS or a Vita or anything.
Not yet. I mean,
they're so expensive.
They're expensive, and the thing is like I would need to be in a world where I felt like I was having more opportunities for playing mobile. Like now,
oh, you don't take transit, right?
I don't take transit. I don't take trains. I don't commute on a car. I mean, well, that wouldn't help. But I mean, like in a plane. And the thing is when I go, like, the shitter games now are all, they're all iOS.
Yeah, because like the other ones are too long. iOS you can stop and start even quicker. So.
But so your Vita, this will be your chance to finally blow the dust off.
I think so, because I mean, seriously, like I've tried a couple of games out, but like nothing has made me pick it up and play it a lot. And this is one of those deeper games. Like I'm waiting for this game and the new Monster Hunter, which I think was released in Japan.
Like that.
So
I don't know why, but I know you like that.
It's such a good game. You gotta just get into it, man. It's like an MMO, but not. And you get to craft. You get to like skin animals.
Awesome! I love crafting.
And getting herbs.
Oh god, collection and crafting.
And then
these are all my favorite things. Alchemy, not killing people.
You gotta kill monsters.
Yeah.
You gotta kill boss monsters. But anyhow, those are the keys. So I'm really excited about it. But basically, it's kind of one of those things where you go around, you pick up guys, you send them after various jobs, and they, the kind of maps, everything's sort of locked out until you get new skills. So it's very Metroid-esque. Yeah. And I played what little I played. It looks great.
Yeah. So, I mean, what I played of Little King Story on the Wii was fantastic. Like it was just very, very nicely architected.
Yeah. And
that's coming out this year, right?
Hope they didn't say they didn't say any dates. But there was a couple other games too, like Persona 4 Golden. You played Jet Set. You didn't like.
Ooh, yeah, they got Jet Set on the Vita. It does not feel good. Like it really felt clunky.
I was hoping that'd be a game that actually would convince you.
I know. I was really excited. And I mean, like, granted, it was a demo. It was in a crowded room. I didn't get the experience to start from the beginning with the tutorial and everything. But it just the world just felt kind of crappy. Like they filled with a lot of like dirt and obstacles that weren't slidable. Like
so you didn't recognize this? Isn't it just a re-release of the same game?
Is that what it is?
That's what I thought. Maybe it's a different area.
Maybe the area that I was in. I mean, like the thing is we've talked about this before, but I much prefer Jet Set Radio Future to Jet Set Radio.
Oh, that's right. I didn't tell the difference. It's like that one where you're spray painting and grinding a lot.
So this is the other one. If it's a remake, I'm not sure if it's a remake or if it's a new game. But either way, it didn't feel great to me.
Yeah, it's too bad too, because I mean, you need something to justify paying $40 or $50 per game, and then another $300 on Vita. So I just hope. We just need more better games. 3DS is the same problem. I don't have that many games that I'm super excited about.
Sales in the Vita have to just be terrible. Like you don't hear shit about that console.
I know, but it's a nice console.
It is.
It's a quality piece of hardware.
Yeah.
But it came out 2 years too late.
Yeah.
I think they needed to do all that shit way like in this year 2 of iOS or something, right?
Speaking of confusing hardware. The Wii U's here on the floor, and I think that even the people that are being paid,
they have no idea what we're talking about.
They don't know the fuck they're talking about. Like these people, like the woman that we were talking to, she's like, "Yeah, the Wii U, it's shipping with 2 of the big controllers with the screens." And I was like,
I'm like, "How much is it going to be?" She's like, "I can't say," and I'm like,
"You don't know."
No.
Yeah, you're just making stuff up. Like these, clearly, it's not going to ship with 2 of the big screen controllers. There's no way.
I mean, if they have a pack, sure, but they're not going to force people to do that because they're not going to sell any of them.
Right.
They're going to sell it by itself.
$600.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like you get this huge pad. I mean, seriously, the Wii U pad is about this big.
Yeah.
LCD, huge.
Yeah.
But it feels pretty comfortable, but it's kind of heavy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got a chance to.
I did. It felt nice. It was a solid piece of hardware. But there's all this weird stuff where it's like, well, can you play the game on just that without the TV? Well, it depends on the game.
Yeah.
Well, this game you have to play with the Wiimote. You can't use the the Pikmin game. You couldn't play with just the new Wii U controller. You had to have a Wiimote.
Well, she said I think that was just at the demo. She said, but maybe eventually because it does have one of those infrared things. So but then are you?
Yeah. How are you
Pikmin
doing
like this?
Yeah. Nintendo is in a very confusing world right now. Like they're sending us mixed messages in terms of what the experience is going to be on the Wii U, and I think as usual it's going to be Nintendo 5 or 6 really good games and then a bunch of shit nobody cares about. Yeah,
and I hope they do well because like they're rolling this is like one of the first releases of consoles from Nintendo that I've been really excited about because of the launch titles. So they have the new Super Mario Brothers. They got Pikmin 3, which I'm super excited about. It looks awesome. I don't know if you guys
really good.
And it looks like they also added the time element back.
Yeah.
Because before, I love Pikmin 1 because you had this, number of days you had to collect all your parts. But Pikmin 2, they got rid of it and it turned boring.
Yeah.
I think it feels like they reintroduced it, but I didn't get to see enough of the game. I saw lots of timers and stuff.
And the graphics looked really tight. I don't know if it's 720p or 1080 that they're doing for the Wii U, but it's really shiny and nice, and they've added a lot of nice touches to it.
It looks. The funny thing is, it looks about as good as the PS3 does.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unfortunate, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to look better.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think
Nintendo doesn't do nice hardware.
No. But yeah, no, I mean, like Pikmin 3, there's also the Nintendo Land game. It looks like the Wii Sports version of it with a bunch of mini games, but they wouldn't tell me if they're going to include it with it.
Yeah, if they didn't, it'd be like the first Nintendo console that didn't have a free game with it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I think you're right.
I don't know if they gave away the Super Nintendo, but I mean, obviously the NES, they gave away the Duck Hunt Mario.
Did the
obviously,
GameCube come with one?
Yes, I don't remember what though.
I don't remember what either. But yeah, but I mean, like, well, I know they didn't give for the Wii. They came standalone in Japan. Yeah. Not here. But here it's just like in this game, there's like 12 mini games, and they're kind of complex.
Yeah.
There's like
we saw the mini games looked fun.
Yeah.
Like there's one where the person with the what are they calling the big fucking thing?
The Wii Pad.
Okay, the
Wii U Pad. The Wii U Pad. It's where you Wii.
With the Wii Pad, the whatever, the what?
Yes.
What? So they got the Wii Pad, and one person controls a ghost, and then four other people control the players, and you're trying to kill them. Only you can see the ghost on your screen because you have your own built-in screen. They're playing on a screen without you on it, and that
5 players at a time.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
And there's the other one you were telling me about where you're trying to the rolling like.
It's basically like one of those like like get the ball through the whole games where you're doing that, but you're kind of tilting it. It was fun. It was like Donkey Kong themed. Yeah. But they also had one. I don't think you saw, but they had one. One of the things was shooting paper stars at paper ninjas.
Nice.
So what you do is you take the Wii Pad, you turn it this way, and you go like this.
Nice.
So the faster you do it, the harder, the slow, like all that. It actually felt pretty good, but a little gimmicky. Yeah. Like I don't see myself playing that a lot, but I would play as in a party mode. Definitely the Luigi's Mansion one. Yeah. That was pretty style. But the last Wii game, like I'm super excited.
Yes.
Super.
It's by Platinum Games. They've got this new game. They're just calling it Project P100 right now.
Yeah,
they're going to have a better name for it later, but.
Yeah, the guys that did Bayonetta, Vanquish, like the games that we
love. I mean, like nothing that Platinum does is not awesome. Like it's just everything they do, and it's always like mindfuck weird. I know. Like it's always just really bizarre, and this is no exception.
Yeah, I can't. It's like it's weird because it's got Pikmin elements.
Yeah.
Right, you're going around town picking up various people and heroes and things like that, but then with this huge mob, you're like doing stuff like.
Yeah. So you're running around, and then. You gather civilians to join your cause, but then you can draw things like you draw a line on the controller, and then suddenly they form into a sword.
Yeah, all the guys.
You've got like 40 dudes. Like it's kind of like Katamari Damacy or something, where it's just like you can make stuff where it's like you make a sword and you're like beating up on enemies, and then as you beat up on enemies, it lowers the battery charge until it's empty, and then you have to go around and beat up people to recharge the battery. But then you can like form the people into a gun or into a bell where it's like people can't hurt you.
Yeah, like all these weird powers and like there's all these boss monsters. The graphic style. If you guys ever played Beautiful Joe, it reminds me a lot of that. The main characters are like that, but they got this weird random stuff like little civilians will have toilets on their head. I don't know why.
Super goofy. In a great way.
In an awesome way. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, like that one actually is one of my more exciting titles of that because New Super Mario Brothers is like but Pikmin and that game I think it's enough for me to justify buying it at launch.
Well, we talked about this before. The New Super Mario Brothers. I don't really care as much about the 2D side-scrolling Super Mario as much as I would like a new Super Mario World, Galaxy style, like open world discovery sort of thing. Like that's what I prefer.
Yeah, I mean you were saying right,
like Paper Mario, which they're doing on the
3DS. Is that enough to get you to buy it?
Maybe. Wow, I love Paper Mario. I love Paper Mario. It's
like that and Layton.
And Layton, exactly. Okay. Like you throw in that and Layton, like
Christmas present to yourself.
Yeah, and if they came out with another Rocket Slime.
Oh, I don't know if they will.
If they did another Rocket Slime, that would be it.
That would be it.
I would buy that. Okay. I'd actually buy it just for that.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Because I would have thought the Layton would have done it, but
Layton's good too. I mean, but Rocket Slime is very near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, that's the only way you can play it. You'll buy it, play it, and then sell it again.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but that's the Wii U. I mean, that's like Wii U. It looks to me like it's going to be a better launch than the Wii. Because I remember we played it and then didn't play it for like 6 months. Yeah. Right? This one at least has a little bit of legs, so I'm pretty excited about that. As long as it's not $500.
Yeah, we don't know how much it's going to be. Like
300?
I bet 300, 299.
I hope so, because that pad is huge, right? It's a huge LCD screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then the last one, so XCOM.
Yeah, XCOM Enemy Unknown. So I am such a huge fan of the XCOM.
Yes, I played the shit out of XCOM back in high school, I guess.
I was in, I think I was in...
High school, college.
Junior high.
Yeah.
Something like that. I think I'm a couple years old. But no, this game is just like, it's like tactical. I don't know if you guys might be a little younger, so you might not remember, but it's a turn-based tactical shooter, but you also have all these base building things, and you're like recruiting people, and you're researching. So there's this weird like mix of civilization and like all this stuff, right, all together. And it's it was amazing for its time, but they haven't done shit with it.
No, they haven't done anything with the IP, and now they're doing this weird thing where they're doing like a first-person shooter that nobody gives a shit about, and then they're doing this turn-based one that is awesome. It looks, and they've released like gameplay videos of like an hour long. You're watching, you're like, this is the best thing ever. But you waited in line and played it.
Yeah, well, I saw the line. So the very first thing, I got on the floor. I'm like, oh, I see XCOM. That line looks short.
Yeah.
And I didn't even like scout the line. I'm like, oh, because it was just like a booth, and I was like right behind here. I'm like, okay. And then basically they let everybody play, like watch a video for about 15 minutes and then play for 15 minutes.
Ooh.
And it was only like maybe 10 or 12 stations. Ooh. So I was in that line, and it wasn't very long, for 2 hours to get in.
You're a more patient man than me.
Oh, I didn't know, but like the moment I spent 1 hour, I'm like, what the fuck? And I look, and I'm like halfway there, I'm like,
well, now I can't get out of the line. Right? Now I'm invested.
Yeah, so then I invested in another hour. But no, this game, the video was awesome. It's basically the trailer, and they show how it all works. But then I played the game, and it's exactly what I want. Like this game, because this is from Firaxis.
Yes.
So you got the Civilization guy, Sid Meier's, probably giving advice and all this stuff.
They know what they're doing.
And it's been in development for 4 years apparently. I was talking to one of the guys. He's like, yeah, I joined Firaxis in 2009. I'm like, what are you working on? Like, Civ 5. And XCOM. Right? He's like, oh, right? And it's a job to stop. But like, they've been working on it, and it's polished as hell. Like, now it also feels a little less geeky, too. I can totally see it being more appealing to people that aren't into tactical shooters, because every single time you shoot somebody, there's this, they call it the glam cam.
Where it's like,
you see like decapitations and all this amazing stuff, and like the base building, they did this really weird thing where it looks like this weird ant colony
from the side.
It's from the side view, yeah. So you're kind of building a new barracks and all this stuff. You're seeing everybody walk around, and it's permadeath for your guys.
Oh, I didn't hear about that. Oh yeah, because you're recruiting new ones.
Yeah. So same with it. So they kept that element where you could invest all this time in rookie Kozai or something like that, right? You'd be building him up, and then one wrong turn,
he's dead.
He sees a muton or whatever, he's dead, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
So
and you can lose. I mean, it's like the original XCOM 2, where you can lose missions, and then you guys can be like, pulled back from the front, and like you can fight your way back forward. But it's not like, oh, we lost this mission, retry it. No, like they fucking took the base. Yep. Like it's this constant battle between you and the aliens, which is fantastic. God, I can't wait for XCOM. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and then they did the thing with the research tree now, where maybe you're getting all of the alien technology, because you have missions saying capture this or get this weapon, something like that, and then you give it to your researchers and you tell them to research it, and all of a sudden now you have plasma rifles. Oh. And then like they were showing like the end game stuff where they had actually Sid Meier. Like he's like this big guy, and he had like the mind control powers of the sectoids. Whoa. And he could this other guy could fly.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like it'd be turn based, right? And he's like, vroom, vroom, vroom.
Fly up.
So basically he's totally protected from melee attacks.
Yeah.
And another one where snipers, they come with a grappling hook.
So you can grapple up to
something. So you can grapple up something and then snipe. Dude, oh, you understand. This game has like everything I want.
Yep.
And it's coming out in October.
Yeah.
So definitely like pre-order that shit. I think I'll probably do PC, because I think I want the graphics.
Yeah.
At this point, which is weird because we're
moving back towards PC now.
Until the new consoles, right? I mean, I need the graphics. Steam makes it so easy. So So that's all the big AAA stuff.
And then we'll go now through the indie games.
Yeah.
So there is some weird stuff going on. Like in a good way. There's games on the floor in the indie section where you seriously look at them. You're like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening, but I really want to play this because you're blowing my mind right now. Like, people are just going off into the tall grass.
Yeah,
and they're just, like, I think that it's because a lot of colleges are offering game design classes. They're really encouraging people to group up together and brainstorm. They go to these game jams. These people sit down over the weekend and pair up with people they don't know and write a game, and they come back away with it. And sometimes they're like, this is goddamn genius. Like, we can sell this tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they do.
Yeah, and I don't know what they were smoking when they were coming with this Antichamber game.
Antichamber is nuts.
I just don't understand, because it feels like a Portal game.
Yeah.
Except it's on crack. Like,
it looks like you're in an MC Escher painting. Like, if you guys have seen those, like the stairs go up infinitely, except you're back at the bottom where you started and nothing makes sense. Like, you'll go into a room and there'll be like a sign on the wall that's like, don't look down, or like things have changed, and you turn back around and like the hallway you just walked through is gone, and perspectives are changing, and you're just doing all these, like, there's some puzzle solving where you're like picking up blocks and using them to keep doors open, but then there's just these trippy mindfuck things going on where, looking through a window changes the room on the other side, then you walk around the window and the room's different. Like, it was one of those things where I watched a guy play for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I still don't know what's going on, but I cannot wait to get my hands on this game, because you're just like, you want to shake the level designer's hand because you're like, you just blew my mind. Like, I can't believe you conceived of this because I don't even understand it watching it.
Well, yeah, I think that was that one element where, like, all of a sudden he came into something, he saw a window, and the window showed another room. He walked backwards a little bit, and he was in the room.
Yeah.
Like, I
just fell back into the room.
Yeah, I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, So I'm excited just from the fact that, like, it'll be a mindfuck, but my main worry is that the graphics are so, like, you know, basically like black and white lines that I'm going to get nauseous.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Because it's going to be one of those disorienting things. But overall, the ideas are wacky.
But they have all these weird splashes of hypercolor too. Like it's like all the levels are boring white, black, and white to kind of focus you on the things that are weird that are happening. Where it's like, you know, if there's color, that there's something you need to kind of pay attention to. But that looks great.
Did they say when that's coming out?
They didn't. A lot of these guys didn't really list good release dates. They might not even know. They might just be like, hey, look what we did. You know, like, well, maybe somebody should come along and invest some money.
Yeah, maybe we'll write a check or something like that. We'll tell you a date. So that was Antechamber. Another game that I thought was really interesting was one called Don't Starve.
And you showed me some videos of it, and now I'm super excited too.
Oh yeah, and you can play it right now. So you can actually go and just search for Don't Starve. It's an app that you can download into Chrome as a Chrome. So I guess you have to have Chrome, unfortunately. But then you play it. It feels like a Flash game, but I think once they're releasing it, it'll be done in Steam, and you can download it just like any other executable. But the whole idea is like take the survival aspect of Minecraft, where you have to like go and build shit without the building.
Yeah.
Right? You're going around collecting various things to then make fire, to then make weapons, and do all this stuff, and you're just trying to survive.
Yeah.
And I just like... I mean,
it blows my mind. Like, we were watching these playthrough videos, and you're just wandering around, you're like, oh, let me pick up some berries, let me get some wood, let me pick up some rocks, and then suddenly it's like, bing, you can make an axe now. You've got rock and wood. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
You can get an axe, now I can chop down a tree, now I got a log.
Oh, and I have flint and a log, and make a fire. Because, like, the very first night, because it's basically day-night cycles over and over again, after the first night comes, you don't have a fire...
You're dead.
You're dead.
And then that's it. The game's over. It's just like, you lasted 0 days, chump. Like, you suck. Maybe you should figure out how to play this game better. Yeah. And you're like, oh, I want a fire next time, so I die.
Okay, then what do I need for a fire? And then you're all planning it. Then when you get the fire, all of a sudden, like, you run out of food.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, you're starving. Like, you run out of food.
And then you're getting berries, and they don't give you shit. Like, oh, maybe I need to catch a rabbit.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you saw that, but there's actually rabbits around. I'm trying to, like, hit it with my axe, and they're all running away. It doesn't work. He said, the developer said, if you did it sneaky, you should be able to do it. But whatever. But then there's one of the items you can build is a trap. So it's a little box with a thing like that, right?
Yeah.
And I built a trap, and I'm like, now what?
Now what? Food in it or something.
Well, that's fantastic. And he's like, you remember those carrots you picked up? Right? Put it in there. That's all he said, right? Remember those carrots? And I'm like, oh, yeah. And I used the carrots on there, and it's sitting there, and all of a sudden I see all the rabbits like, and they're just hopping. And all of a sudden you pick it up, it's rabbit meat.
But the thing that I like the best about this is that I hate crafting. I fucking despise crafting in games.
They take all the pain out of it.
They take all the pain out of it. It's just like as soon as you pick up stuff, it's like bing. Yeah. You've got the ingredients for this. I'm like, make it, because I hate collecting recipes. I hate wondering about number of items and like figuring out like all these different whatever. But it's like this. The game just takes all the pain out of that, and it's just playing around. It's just experimenting.
You're kind of looking
and see
like,
what happens.
What do you need? Like, I probably need a pickaxe to make boulders, to make rock, to do this, to do that, and then there's like this very fancy thing called a science machine. Right, and I don't know what that does, but maybe
I'm gonna find out when I get home. Tell you right now.
Yeah, so if you go download it right now, you can play it, and then you get I think 10 minutes of time, and then that's it. I think if you buy the code or something like that, you get into the beta, and they take it away. Yeah. The developer said that they're going to be spending a lot of time actually refining it, and every week because they go out, they have a forum, people are suggesting shit, and awesome. You look at the graphics, it's not that hard. So like adding this new stuff, they said they're going to refresh the game.
Every
constantly.
Week. Yeah.
So I'm super excited about that. So I went and you give them $7, they give you 2 keys. I'm like, here you go. Yeah. Take my money now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I give you a key. So we're gonna.
We're good. We're good. So I mean, it's that new Minecraft model where it's just like we release something, get people excited, let them play, have it be cheap, and then just continuously improve it and make it a better experience.
Yeah, and I love that. I want to support that anytime I can.
Next up, this game blew my mind. Blew my mind. It's called Mark of the Ninja.
I was just like, dude, Tobin, you have to play this game.
You did.
What did I say? I said 2D stealth.
That was it.
2D
stealth. And I was just like, I want to go to there. I want to go. So it's everything that I loved about Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yep. Without the cutscenes.
Without the cutscenes, but it's like butter. It plays so like good. Butter. You're this ninja on a 2D side scroller, and you can use a grappling hook to get up above people, and every person has a little light cone of where they can see.
Exactly.
You get these concentric spheres of the sound that you're making, so that you can tell who can hear you and what you're doing. You can knock out lights. You can throw darts at gongs to distract people.
You can sneak up on people and kill them.
Yeah.
You just go, there's underneath. It's just like, it's everything you wanted about stealth in a highly simplified 2D interface, right?
And so stylized.
So good.
It's by the guys that did...
Shank, right?
Shank.
Yeah,
so it's like super gory, like you're cutting people's throats and like hiding the bodies under things and throwing them down in pits and stuff. But it was one of those things where I started playing it and I was like 2 seconds in, I'm like, well, I'm buying this. I'm clearly buying this the second it launches. Like, I had zero complaints.
Yeah, no, there's nothing to complain about. And honestly, when I said like, hey, I want to buy this, like, oh, it's coming out next week on XBLA Live. So by the time you watch
you just like grab them,
I'm
you're
just like, thank you.
It's not like, oh, we don't know when it's coming out. Whatever.
Yeah,
no, next week.
Yes. So by the time you actually watch this, it might already be out.
It'll
Mark
be out.
of the Ninja.
Mark of the Ninja. Buy it right
holy
now.
Holy shit! Awesome stuff. Next up, Monaco, which is hilarious because I think we talked about it 2 other times.
Yeah,
because it's been at PAX.
It's been coming soon for 3 years.
Yeah, so Monaco is a game, I don't know if you guys remember, but it's like a 4-player cooperative heist game, so you're going around doing it. They spent since last year polishing the fuck out of this game. So now the colors are better, like there's like, I don't know, 10 or 12 different classes.
Oh, wow.
Like one they added was this, like a seductress or something like that, so she can go and then kiss a guard, and the guard, won't attack, and they'll be kissing and then following her.
Oh.
But if another guard sees her while she has another guard, he attacks.
Nice.
Right? So like all that kind of stuff, right? And then another guy, like a gentleman who could disguises, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's now fully networked.
Oh!
Yeah, so you can play everything now.
That changes things.
Yeah, so it's not, because remember that was a big complaint, right? Like
you
it's
have
awesome
to be sitting
with
there.
4 players.
Yeah.
Not fun at all with 1 or 2.
No,
actually,
it needs to be 4. It needs to be 4-player.
And they have these things where they have these beacons where you can basically see the games that are currently in play and the ones that are, you can just join them and you can full randoms, get everybody else. So I think they fixed a lot of the issues. So I don't know when it's going to come out, but hopefully soon because it looks pretty polished.
Good.
So I'm super excited about that one.
Yeah.
Leap Day. Yeah, Leap Day. So I wanted to just chat a little bit about this. So
did not see this.
Did you ever play? Did you ever play any of the Spry Fox games?
No.
So they did Triple Town.
No.
One. Steambirds. It's all iOS or whatever. Steambirds. Well, they're kind of like strategy / like match 3 type games. So they're all kind of basic stuff. But the guy does the 2 guys that do it. One is from Game Tycoon blog. The other one does the Lost Garden.
Okay. Lost Garden. Yeah. So it's I read that.
It's that guy. He does all the art.
Oh. Okay.
So the whole concepts of iteration and game design are all awesome. So they do this, and they have a new game called Leap Day.
Okay.
And the whole idea is basically kind of like SimCity, and the games last 4 days. Okay.
Okay.
So any game you start with your friends or with randoms,
4
days long. You build it, and basically you're putting down you're basically putting down houses and all this and all these resources, and then you have these little guys that come out, basically come out and then start collecting resources for you. And you can go away. You can just keep collecting resources. So you'll be collecting gold during that time, or you can keep doing it better. And it's all about efficiency and all that. But this awesome thing is, and I'm sure you're starting to get bored a little bit, but it's cooperative. So there's these group goals. Okay. Where basically you're playing with like 4 to 10 people or some large number of people during this 4-day game cycle, and then you're all working towards collecting a certain number of wood or collecting gold and or doing some sort of achievement in
a shared world, or each got their own world.
No, in a shared world.
Oh.
So you're kind of like playing this weird SimCity thing, right?
Yeah.
With just your friends or just people you know, and then if you do some goals, sometimes you get things or items then you can carry with you to the next game.
Oh.
So it's this weird
kind of like leveling up.
Yes, it's kind of like, and it's free to play.
Oh.
It's going to be one of those games, but I love the other games so much because it's all about pure gameplay and iteration and just polish. And now they're doing this one where it's this weird cooperative, you know what I mean? And I've been playing a lot more asynchronous games on iOS, like Hero Academy, or I don't know if you're playing any of those.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, so you take a turn at a time, right? That kind of stuff. I love the idea of this. So check it out. Keep your eye out for Leap Day and check out some of their other games.
That sounds exciting. I need to add that to my growing list of things to play when I get home. So next up, Super Time Force.
Oh,
this game, it's dude, blew my mind. Once I got the hook, once I realized what they were doing, I was just like, yeah! and also then I was like, how's nobody done this before? You've thought of something new that I've never seen done, but it's simple and beautiful.
Yeah. And it's weird too because they take all these mixes. When I was trying to pitch it to you to get you to come over, I was just like, okay, it's Contra and Mega Man and Super Meat Boy.
Yeah.
Kind of all rolled together, but then they add a bunch of other shit to it.
The thing that gets me is it's co-op with yourself. It's co-op with yourself. What was that game? What was that game where you had 99 mouse cursors? Remember that? Where It was
90. I think it was 99 or something like that. That's exactly
just like that.
Holy shit!
So
right.
it's that basic idea of you get to try over and over and over again, and
you get
what
30
happens?
lives,
So you get 30 lives. So the game is you get 30 lives. You're running around shooting something, then you die. Boom, you restart.
Yeah, but
ghost. The ghost that your last guy is still playing, you can run with him and shoot stuff. And if you get the thing that killed him, that's your new checkpoint. You start from there, and then you can keep moving on forward. So you, like, if there's a hard part in the game, then you have an army of the last 5 times you died, and all your guys trying to do this, and then like you progress farther.
Yeah.
But it's so smart.
Yeah.
It's such a clever way to do things, and I was watching this where the guy was playing, and it's like he got to the boss, and then he'd have his like 4 different guys, and he would go and he'd try and save one of his guys that died, and then they're all trying to beat the boss at the same time. But it's like playing with other people that are you.
Yeah, so it's like the best co-op partner you could possibly have.
Exactly. They'll never frustrate you because it's you.
Yeah, because you'd be like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I mean...
learn to play, me!
But yeah, and I love it. It's just it's all very hard.
Yeah.
Like you look some of it. It's like Mega Man hard. Some of these things where it's just like not shmup level hard, but definitely like lots of things where you're gonna die a lot. But that's all built into the game.
Right.
And I was talking to the developer. He said that basically he made they're trying to make all the levels really short, so like 4 to 5 minutes long. So
and they were. I watched people beat 2 levels while I was just standing there.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what you say. Where it's like, oh, you're going to die a bunch at the first, but then you can go and you're like, okay, that guy killed me, boom.
Yep.
I'm going to kill him, I'm going to start farther
But you have your ghost to help out, so if you waited, the guy might actually your ghost might have killed the thing that you... It's just hilarious, because actually what ends up happening is the faster you are, the worse it is. Because all of your ghosts are behind you.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't save them.
And you only have 30 seconds to play the game, but every person you kill gives you another second of life.
Yeah, so it does this weird time thing. Like it's amazing. And the guys that did it are Cappy.
Yeah.
So they did Heroes of Might and Magic,
which was amazing. That was the one, the one on the DS.
Yeah, DS. They put it on the iOS and then 360. They have it everywhere at this point, but it's an awesome game, and we're definitely really excited about it.
Yeah, get that. So next up was Snapshot.
Yeah, this game was weird,
really interesting, and we talked to the developers. It was literally 2 people. There was like a level designer, artist, and then there was the programmer. And he's like, "Oh yeah, so we didn't want to buy an engine, so I just wrote one." And he's just like, he just sat down, wrote the game engine for this beautiful looking game all by himself. He's there on the show floor selling it, like
chatting up,
like really friendly guy. The whole trick in the game is you're running through and you've got a camera. You can take a picture of any item on the screen, and it captures it into your camera, and then you can replace it anywhere else in the world.
Yep.
And it keeps its momentum that it had at the time. So you start to get these clever things where something's falling, take a picture of it, and then you can put it back in, or you could turn the camera upside down and put it back in, it'll be going up.
Yeah, and the puzzles apparently are supposed to be crazy too. There's like they're doing things with light, like all these crazy stuff where we just saw the first few levels and we're like, here, I want this.
And it was such a nice way to do things where he's just like, we're selling it for $10. There's a sale where it's 10% off. Yeah, 10% off on Steam. But he's like, if you just want to give me $5 right now, I'll give you a code. And we're like, bunk.
Here you go.
Yes. Everybody should do that at every game convention. They're just like, you want to buy a code from me? It's like, da-da-da-da-da. Like, I would just be walking around just handing everybody money because that's when you want it. Like, you get all excited, you play the game.
Yeah, and you're seeing the guy, when you hand it to this guy, it's going to the people who made it. Nobody's taking a cut, hopefully.
Nope.
Right? It's just like, it reminds me of like going to old, like shows.
Yeah.
Right? And like seeing the band sell merch.
Their own CDs,
right? You're like, I ended up buying a ton of shit. Like, I'll take the T-shirt, these 2 CDs, and like 5 stickers.
Yeah, you're like, thanks, because I enjoyed your show.
Yeah, your show was awesome, and here's the best way I can support you in a way that's going to affect you. And it's just like, it feels so good.
Exactly.
It's like Kickstarter in real life.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. It's not Kickstarter, it's like Kick Continuer.
Kickbacker.
That's
right.
I like it.
I like it. Yeah. So this game's awesome. It's already out. So go get it.
Yeah.
We'll hopefully play it by this time. We'll have a better idea too. But because I think I have the code.
Yeah, I've got the code in my wallet, so I'm going to go home and play it as soon as I get back from Seattle.
That's right. So one last game before we're gone
is Johan Sebastien Joust, which is that thing you guys I'm sure you guys have all seen the videos on the net where everybody gets a move mote, and it's lit up with a color. And then the whole thing is music's playing, and if you move too quick, it turns red and you lose.
Yeah, so the whole point is to keep it so that it doesn't shake.
Yeah.
Right, so you can move fast as long as it's consistent.
Steady.
Any sort of jerky movement.
Right.
And the whole point is you're like in an arena, which they had a really small arena, which I can show you a video of like 5 or 6 other people. We're going like this.
Yeah. And there's no rules. That's it. That's it. The rules are whatever. It's just like keep your light alive.
Yeah.
So everybody's just kind of like hunting each other, and people are trying different strategies. And they're trying to sneak up behind people and like hit their shoulder, and everybody was. I was actually kind of afraid that it was going to get mean-spirited or people would get a little bit angry, but everybody was just a big smile on their face, very fun, very lighthearted.
Yeah, and it's just amazing, like it's a real life game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're out there. And I've seen videos of people playing this in a field at night. Ooh. So it's just the things moving around, which is it's very
kind of creepy, actually.
Yeah. And we have footage of us.
All right, Yuzo is about to play the game here. Joust.
Playing it, and Yuzo won.
I did.
Yuzo won a game, which was awesome.
Oh yeah, I totally caught this one girl totally unaware, and the other one is just like I just had to get the guys like far away. It's tough.
Yeah,
like especially if you have long arms like that. That's pretty much like the thing with this game, or basically really tall because like that.
Right. Yeah. So then people just start figuring out just clever way. And the thing is, you'd be watching somebody, and somebody else comes up and just smacks your hand like motherfucker. But it's cool. I mean, it's a different way of doing gaming. It's very specific use case. Only if you have a party full of people. But it's like you imagine everybody's hanging out, having a drink, just dicking around.
And of course, you have 4 move modes sitting around.
Like you do. You've all dropped $120 on move modes, I'm sure.
So that I think is the biggest problem with this game is that you really need to put it on like like on iPhones and all that. And I heard actually some other developer
already copied it. Yeah.
But then somebody was telling me that there's a game now on the iPad. You go and you get a bunch of people and you have to put your finger on, right? And then the last person's finger on wins.
Whoa!
And everyone's like really close quarters, right? Like I kind of want to try it out. I forget the name of it, but gotta look around for that one.
All right.
Yeah. So
I think that's it. We've talked quite a bit.
For a little over an hour. A little over an hour.
So thank you guys for like we were really pleasantly surprised when we put up the video about PAX and it already got like 10,000 views. Like you guys stuck around. We appreciate it. We never know when we're going to get a chance to record again, but when we do, stay subscribed to the channel and we'll toss out videos whenever it makes sense.
Absolutely. Whenever we're in the same town, we'll make an effort to record something, especially if you guys keep watching it.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for this episode.
Yeah, that's it for now. Check out the website. Like we still have a very active community on NooBTooB.com. Yep. There's other people putting up shows and podcasts that they list on there. The forum is still going strong. So I mean, stick around. The NooBTooB community is still there. Despite us not doing the shows, and it's alive and well and very happy. And we're hanging out with all the NooBTubers here in Seattle. Like NooBTooB is going to be a movement for life. Just because we're not recording regularly doesn't mean anything. Like go check out NooBTooB.com. Also follow us on Twitter at NooBTooB and like us on Facebook. We announce all sorts of stuff on there.
And you want to keep up with us, you're going to keep us on there. If you're watching the video on YouTube, click the subscribe button up there. I don't know if we're going to have any videos, but if we do, you will be informed. I heard people actually get emailed as a result.
Which
Which is
is good.
really good considering. So you never know. And also, please give the video a big thumbs up by clicking somewhere over
just click
here.
my junk.
Click the
let's
junk.
just pretend that it's on my junk.
Yes.
For old time's sake.
But it's not also click somewhere else where there actually is them.
Give my junk a tickle and then go wherever you need to go.
Yeah, that's all for this episode. I am Yuzo Watanabe.
And I'm Tobin Kazire. Thanks for watching. We'll see you whenever we record again.
Someday.
Hey Tobin, what's your plan?
New Sly Cooper. It hasn't come out for years and years. Of course, I just picked it up in the middle, so I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
I think A means jump.
Thanks.
You should have done that. Water kills you.
Oh, look, it's the Prince of Persia mechanic. I can do no wrong.
You could do no wrong.
Or I can do wrong a lot and
over and over and again. Yeah.
How am I supposed to fucking...
Have you forgotten how to play video games?
I don't like this anymore. I don't like you filming me.
Your other costume will actually be able to slow down time. You see that door's only open while you're sitting on the switch. The only way to get through is to push R2 and slow down the time so you can get through.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Does he come with a game?
I know. I need you to come to my house and give me tutorials on how to play.
Here you go. Look at the wheel of NooBTooB.
That is a creepy ass poop.
Yeah.
I'm like my sphincter.
This is how NooBTooB eats. Being judged by the Pope.
The entire time.
And later on, we're going to try and do it like subtly, so
Home and boat loans! Woo! 0% down loans!
Ready?
Yep.
It's been so long. This flexor podcast muscle.
Oh, get the funny. What?
What's over here?
Pedophilia? Racism?
Oh, fucking your mother. Okay, I think we're good.
Yeah.